In the sun-drenched expanses of southern Africa, beneath the vast cerulean sky, two lions, a magnificent male and a live female, had woven their lives together, roaming freely for what seemed an eternity. Their days were a tapestry of shared hunts, their movements a symphony of synchronized steps across the boundless grasslands. They were masters of their domain, rulers of a kingdom painted in hues of gold and green. Yet the relentless hand of time, coupled with the insidious creep of climate change, began to unravel the threads of their idyllic existence. The life-giving rains became sporadic, the once abundant water sources dwindled into parched memories, and the teeming herds of prey that sustained them grew alarmingly scarce. Hunger, a gnawing presence, became a constant companion, its icy grip tightening with each passing day. Faced with these increasingly dire circumstances, their options narrowed, their very survival hanging precariously in the balance. After much silent deliberation, a decision, heavy with the weight of necessity, was reached. With a shared glance, a silent understanding passing between them, the two lions resolved to abandon their ancestral territory, to embark on a perilous quest in search of a sanctuary, a safer haven where they could once again thrive. Their arduous journey stretched across hundreds of kilometers, a relentless odyssey marked by the ever-present specter of hunger and the lurking shadows of other predators, rivals vying for dwindling resources. Each step was a testament to their unwavering determination, a defiance against the unforgiving forces of nature. The male lion, his powerful frame weakened but his spirit unbowed, shouldered the responsibility of protector, standing guard each night while the female lion, her energy reserves depleted, rested, desperately trying to regain her strength for the trials that lay ahead. The sun beat down mercilessly. The wind carried whispers of despair, but they pressed on, driven by an unyielding hope that flickered within their hearts. After weeks of relentless travel, their senses, honed by years of survival in the wild, finally picked up the tantalizing scent of fresh water, a sweet, life-giving aroma that invigorated their weary limbs. Mingled with it was the unmistakable fragrance of wild animals, a promise of sustenance, a beacon of hope in a vast, unforgiving landscape. Their instincts, sharpened by necessity, guided them forward, leading them towards a destination known as Makado National Park, one of South Africa's largest and most renowned wildlife reserves, a protected haven celebrated for its rich and diverse ecosystem and its sprawling grasslands, teeming with life. Upon their arrival at Makado, the two lions, their senses on high alert, cautiously ventured into their new surroundings. The park, a realm of both promise and potential peril, presented a landscape unlike anything they had encountered before. They observed strange metallic beasts rumbling along designated paths, their forms unfamiliar and unsettling. They noticed imposing structures, guard posts manned by figures clad in unfamiliar attire, and seemingly endless stretches of fences, barriers that defied their understanding of the natural world. Unbeknownst to the newly arrived lions, their presence had not gone unnoticed. Within the confines of Makado National Park, two dedicated staff members, Themba, an experienced patrol driver whose knowledge of the terrain was unparalleled, and Zola, a seasoned animal observer with an uncanny ability to decipher the nuances of wildlife behavior, had begun to detect unusual lion footprints near the central river, a telltale sign of the arrival of unknown predators. Driven by a deep sense of responsibility towards the park's delicate ecosystem, Themba and Zola initiated a careful observation of the newly arrived lions, maintaining a safe distance to ensure that the newcomers posed no immediate threat to the existing wildlife. During the first few nights, the male lion, driven by instinct, unleashed a series of thunderous roars, a primal declaration of his territory, a challenge to any potential rivals. The female lion, however, seemed restless, her movements displaying a subtle unease, a struggle to adapt to the unfamiliar environment that surrounded her. Zola, with her keen eye and years of experience, observed the female lion closely, her suspicions growing with each passing day. She noticed subtle changes in her gait, her appetite, and her overall demeanor, leading her to suspect that the lioness might be carrying new life within her womb, a secret burden that explained her unease. Themba, after observing the male lion's unusually protective behavior towards his companion, concurred with Zola's assessment. If the female lion was indeed pregnant, it would be a momentous occasion, a significant boost to the park's lion population and a testament to the success of conservation efforts. For months later, the subtle hints had blossomed into undeniable evidence. The female lion's pregnancy was no longer a mere suspicion, but a stark reality. Her belly had grown significantly, its rounded form a clear indication of the life that thrived within. Her movements, once fluid and graceful, had become heavier, more deliberate, reflecting the weight she now carried. Themba, ever vigilant and prepared, began to meticulously gather and prepare medical equipment, anticipating potential complications that might arise during the birthing process. Zola, with her unwavering dedication, meticulously recorded the lioness's eating patterns, her resting periods, and her overall health, gathering crucial data that would aid them in ensuring a smooth and safe delivery. The entire staff at Makado National Park held their collective breath, their hearts filled with a mixture of hope and apprehension, united in their desire for a smooth and successful birth, a celebration of life in the heart of the African wilderness. However, as the day of reckoning approached, trouble began to brew, casting a shadow of uncertainty over the anticipated joy. The female lion, her body racked with pain, struggled to give birth, her labor prolonged and agonizing. For 2 long and arduous days, she endured the throes of childbirth, her moans of distress echoing through savannah, a symphony of suffering that tugged at the hearts of all who heard it. The male lion, his powerful frame radiating anxiety and helplessness, restlessly paced around her, his roars now filled with concern and desperation, a stark contrast to the confident pronouncements of his territorial claims. Themba and Zola, their faces etched with worry, recognized the severity of the situation. They understood that intervention was necessary, but the risks were immense. Anesthetizing the female lion, while tempting, was deemed too dangerous, as the drugs would potentially harm her or the unborn cub during the delicate stages of labor. Sedating the male lion, equally problematic, could trigger an adverse reaction from the already stressed lioness, potentially leading to further complications and endangering both their lives. Faced with these seemingly insurmountable obstacles, Themba and Zola, their hearts pounding with a mixture of trepidation and determination, made a courageous decision, one that would test their instincts, their training, and their unwavering commitment to the preservation of life. Trusting their judgment, fueled by years of experience and a deep understanding of animal behavior, they resolved to intervene, to offer their assistance in the hopes of facilitating a safe and successful delivery. As they cautiously approached the distressed lions in their vehicle, the male lion, his senses on high alert, unleashed a thunderous roar, a primal warning to these perceived intruders. His mane, a symbol of his power and dominance, stood on end, a visual display of his protective rage. The female lion, weakened and exhausted, lay weakly on the ground, her body trembling with each contraction, her whimpers a heart-wrenching plea for relief. Zola, her voice barely above a whisper, spoke urgently to Themba, her eyes conveying the gravity of the situation. "We have to act immediately, Themba. She's running out of time." With a steady hand and unwavering focus, Themba carefully exited the vehicle, his eyes never leaving the lions, his movements slow and deliberate, conveying a sense of calm reassurance. Zola, her medical equipment clutched tightly in her hand, followed closely behind, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and determination. The male lion, his eyes narrowed, growled protectively, his body tense, ready to spring into action at any moment. But he did not attack. Something in the demeanor of these humans, their calm approach, their lack of aggression, seemed to register with him, a primal understanding that they meant no harm. Speaking in soft, soothing tones, Zola attempted to reassure the distressed lioness, her voice carrying a gentle cadence that seemed to penetrate the fog of pain and exhaustion. Slowly, cautiously, she moved closer, her movements deliberate and non-threatening, conveying a sense of empathy and compassion. The female lion, her expression tense and wary, eased slightly, allowing Zola to gently touch her belly, a reassuring gesture that seemed to calm her troubled spirit. With swift precision, Zola administered an injection, a carefully calculated dose of medication designed to aid the birthing process, to stimulate contractions and ease the pain. Then, with equal care and caution, she stepped back, giving the lioness the space and time she needed to complete her labor. 2 agonizing hours crawled by, each minute stretching into an eternity. The air crackled with tension, the silence broken only by the sounds of Nala's intense contractions. Then, finally, after what seemed like an endless struggle, a tiny lion cub was born, a fragile bundle of life emerging into the world amidst the drama and the pain. The male lion, his protective instincts overriding his fear, cautiously approached his newborn offspring, licking the tiny cub gently, his touch conveying a tenderness that belied his fierce reputation. The female lion, though utterly exhausted, gazed at her newborn with a radiant expression of joy, her eyes filled with love that transcended the hardships she had endured. Themba, unable to contain his elation, cheered softly, his voice filled with awe and wonder. Zola, with her practiced eye, ensured that the tiny cub had no deformities, that its breathing was regular, and that it was healthy and strong. Then, with a gentle touch, she administered a strengthening tonic to the exhausted mother, helping her to regain her strength after the arduous ordeal. The male lion, his eyes filled with what seemed like gratitude, turned to look at them, as if acknowledging their help, their intervention in this most sacred of moments. With a sense of profound relief and gratitude, they named the male lion Simba, symbolizing bravery and strength, the female lion Nala, representing hope and resilience, and their precious cub Amani, meaning peace, a testament to the miracle they had witnessed. As they drove away, their hearts overflowing with joy and satisfaction, Themba and Zola felt an immense sense of fulfillment, knowing that they had played a part in saving a precious life and ensuring the continuation of a legacy. The next day, while patrolling the park, they were greeted by a heartwarming sight. Simba and Nala, standing proudly on a grassy slope, their eyes fixed upon them, their bodies radiating a sense of calm contentment. Amani, still small and unsteady on his paws, trotted beside his mother, his innocent eyes looking up with curiosity, taking in the world around him. The male lion, once wary and aggressive, no longer roared at the sight of humans, a clear sign of growing trust, a testament to the bond that had been forged between them. Amani grew under the watchful care of his parents, learning the ancient skills of the hunt from Nala, his lithe and graceful mother, and mastering the art of roaring from Simba, his brave and protective father, claiming his rightful place in the circle of life. Themba and Zola, their commitment unwavering, continued their conservation work, diligently monitoring the lion family, never forgetting the extraordinary moment when they had helped save Nala's life, a moment that had reaffirmed their faith in the power of compassion and the importance of their mission. The story of Simba, Nala, and Amani, a tale of survival, resilience, and the unexpected connection between humans and wildlife, spread throughout Makado National Park, becoming a legend, a testament to the transformative power of hope. Every time a patrol vehicle passed by, the lion family, their heads held high, turned to acknowledge their presence, as if silently expressing their gratitude, their recognition of the bond that had been forged in the crucible of childbirth. The entire Makado Reserve celebrated this remarkable success, believing that conservation efforts, fueled by unwavering dedication and a deep sense of empathy, could indeed create miracles, could bring new life into a world often overshadowed by despair. Though they knew the challenges lay ahead, that the delicate balance of nature required constant vigilance and unwavering commitment, the faith and courage of both humans and animals would ensure continued coexistence, a shared future built on trust and mutual respect. As the sun set each day, painting the African sky in a kaleidoscope of vibrant colors, Simba roared loudly, his voice a powerful reminder of their arduous journey, their triumph over adversity, and their unwavering commitment to their new home. Nala, her eyes filled with love and tenderness, lovingly licked Amani, nurturing him with hope, instilling in him the values of courage, resilience, and compassion. Themba and Zola, their hearts filled with an overwhelming sense of joy and accomplishment, knew that they had made a difference, that their actions had a profound impact on the lives of these magnificent creatures and on the future of the park. As they left the lion family to their peaceful slumber, the wind carried the scent of wild grass and the echoes of nature's timeless melody, a soothing symphony that resonated deep within their souls. Amani slept peacefully in his mother's embrace, his tiny body rising and falling with each gentle breath, while Simba stood guard, his watchful eyes ensuring his family's safety, their well-being his utmost priority. From afar, Themba and Zola watched over them, their faces illuminated by the warm glow of the setting sun, knowing that their mission had been a success, that their efforts had contributed to the flourishing of life in this precious corner of the African wilderness. Dear friend, thank you for following this story. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to support our work.